What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Georgia Wrestling Spotlight here on the Tapped Out Podcast Network. I'm Nick McDaniel, and this week I'm riding along with my buddy Myron here.
Yes.
What's going on, man?
No, not too much, man. Where can I find this show for people, new people like me? Where can they find this show?
Back in the day, this thing used to be exclusive to one place, but now we have it on the YouTube channel as well. But it used to be over exclusively on our Patreon page, patreon.com/tappedoutpod. Look, you still have all the reasons in the world to be a member over there. Even the free membership, you can watch all the shows in that one place if you're not a big YouTube person over there. But, of course, dollar levels, you're going to get the show notes. And, for example, this week, folks, 11 pages. That's right, 11 pages for this show today alone, because there's something like 22 shows that we're going to have to try to cover here in the next hour or so. But at patreon.com, you get those show notes to cover the things that we missed, that we didn't get. Get time to cover, I should say, be more specifically. But you also got like the shows, the weekly shows at the $5 tier. You get those things early as possible. I'm saying that with a wink as we're recording this one. But the $10, you get his shows as fast as I can on the other content, like the QT Marshall episode, where I interviewed him this week about SummerStage, which we'll discuss here shortly. And, of course, at the $10 and $25 levels, you're going to get the digital collectible and the 8.5 by 11 physical autographed picture that I've been putting together, those exclusive this month. This past week, you would have had Sunny Days. That's who was our month of July. And, a lot of people were, I got to deliver one of those. I actually saw somebody last night who was one, so I just delivered it to them. So
it was
cool. It was a cool reaction. Yeah. But man, I told you, man, we got a ton, and I mean a ton of shows to get through. So without further ado, man, let's jump right into this week's Georgia Wrestling Indy Rewind, where we look back at the shows that happened this past week. And, look, we talked a little bit about QT, the interview that I did setting up the big center stage show here coming up shortly. But they were down in McDonough. They're there every month. They're having a great turnout down there, so much so they were about 10 or 15 people short of turning people away. And that's becoming a thing. I know at one of their other locations. That was the Gainesville location, but the Watkinsville show as well, which we'll dive into that a little bit. Lots of cool matches. They put on a huge, huge card, but a couple that I was looking at that I wanted to draw some attention to. Bryce Cannon defeated Michael Solar. By the way, Bryce, massive road trip this week. Hit this show, then was in Florida, then was in the Carolinas over the weekend. So kudos to Bryce for hitting the road and putting some miles in on the car. But I had a chance to talk to Michael Solar. He's looking for a rematch. Let's go with that.
Hell yeah. Do it where I can see it too.
Yeah. Lee Johnson defeated Shoot Taylor. It's cool to see Lee Johnson back in town. Last time we saw him over at the Cumming venue for the One Fall show where he took on Bryce Cannon. But everybody that I ran into on Monday Night, Myron, was talking about Ilya Drago and Jack Jameson as they defeated QT Marshall and Brady Booker as the road to center stage keeps heating up.
You feel the marching. They're just marching right up there, man. I can't wait. It's this weekend. I am so stoked. Maybe more stoked about that than SummerSlam. How about that?
100% agree with you on that one, for especially for right now where all the angles are. The crowd was hot. Brady Booker returned to the Moose Lodge. It was his first time back there since he got injured. And, of course, while he was gone, one Tyler Shoup was picking up a lot of steam. And, by the way, that continued Monday. Lots of stories to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
But Brady, of course, Brady and Drago, look, right now at One Fall, Friday or Monday, all roads lead to SummerStage at the center stage this Friday, and that's kind of where you could see all these things playing out. Also on Friday up at Royston, ApoXalypse Pro Wrestling, SCA, call it what they're on their march to their big show on the 1st. Lots of stuff going on. Austin Thorne defeated Jacob Ashworth. Tower defeated Scott Mason. Rick Page has kind of sneakingly weaseled his way back.
Oh, he's a greasy weasel. He's a greasy little weasel.
He is, he likes to think he's the first Triple Crown manager, but I think John the Body Johnson made a case that he might be as well. But Rick Page, look, to his credit, we thought he was down and out at up there at ApoXalypse Pro Wrestling, SCA, call it what you will. But he has found a way to weasel his way right back into the title picture.
Keep a bad man down.
Almost turned into Elmer Fudd there. I was like, he was weaseling his way back into Wabbits. Tower looks like he's going to be joining the Team SCA heading into the big August 1st show. That's going to make things interesting.
Can't wait for that show.
Yeah, everything. Check them out on YouTube if you've missed them. Great show. They're, like I said, they picked up. The crowd was back up. Huge contingent of young crowd. That's what we heard from some people that were there. That's the excitement. That's what we like to hear, is when a young crowd shows up and has a good time, because those people can come
wrestling
back.
Fans that's what people miss with their factionalization. They isolate new wrestling fans, and that's going to kill the business eventually, folks. I sure hope Feltner gets rid of these ApoXalypse people, because now they got a company called Apex and a company called ApoXalypse. I'm not going to know where to go. I won't even know who to talk about this. I'll be confused again. I'll sound like an idiot. Please, Jonathan Feltner, I beg you from the bottom of my little corroded heart, win this for us.
Check them out again, like clockwork. They're there on this Friday, the 25th. And again, catch them up on YouTube. It's the best way to keep up them on a weekly basis, so you don't miss a thing. Also Friday, DWA, right down on Krog Street. Bobby Flacco defeated Chainmail by DQ. Jazzy Yang, she won her match in the women's title tournament. She's heading into the semifinals. Northside Heroes defeated Grayson Pierce and Akeem Young. That's an interesting team, Myron. Grayson Pierce and Akeem Young kind of caught my eye when I saw it. I'm like, keep an eye on that one. Jay Lucas challenged Nishi Ichiban for the DWA title. Came up a little short. But, yeah, I don't think it's the last time we're going to see Jay Lucas getting an opportunity there.
No.
And remember, they're running, by the way, they're running this weekend again. We'll get into that show a little bit shortly. And you can always catch them on IWTV. And there's a big return, and something's continuing at the next show. So when we get to the making the drives, we'll cover that, cover that part.
Did they disqualify Chainmail for wearing a metal hat? That's cheating.
They disqualified him because of his promo. So CCDL, easy for me, PCW, but over there in Conyers, CCDL, J. Alpha Miller and Trey Shaw went to a no contest. JJ and William Huckabee defeated Travis, and lots of cool stuff, man. Obviously, Trey Shaw defeated J. Alpha Miller and Jay Shaw. Say that one. That one's a mouthful. Yeah, Trey Shaw and Jay Shaw were in the same match in a triple threat lumberjack match. The big news coming out of this show is Cuatro Cabezas made his return, and shockingly, Myron, joined the Syndicate, and that no one saw this coming, and it just completely caught everybody off guard. And like, why would he turn on CCDL and align with the Syndicate? That's what the next show's for. You got to get the answers. You got to figure out. Yeah. Why would he attack Deon Summerz? On and on. The questions just kind of pile.
Deion Sanders was there?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, thanks.
Check them out. By the way, PCW will be back in the house on the 25th as well. And you can check them out on YouTube, on their YouTube channel. Also, now on Saturday, Premier All-Star Wrestling. Premier's going through a weird phase, and it's a good phase, but it's a weird. It's kind of like they're rebooting, they're resetting, setting their stories up, and they're getting off. Trying to get everything started. And AJ Black defeated Austin Thorne. A couple matches up brought my attention. Pat Roach defeated Sean Nelson. That's a big win.
Mm-hmm.
As Pat, kind of starting to get a little steam there down there. Scott Mason defeated Da Silva.
That would have been good.
Austin Thorne and your buddy Seabolt, they defeated the Country Gentlemen. And Stevie Ray Frost and Alexander Lev went to a no contest. So, of course, Frost retains. We just all naturally assumed it was Lev's time to be crowned as champion, and it just didn't happen.
those are good stories. I'm really impressed with the quality of they're doing right there. They're bringing in great talent. I think this is a brilliant idea. So I think this is going to work out real well for them. I'm glad they rebooted.
Yeah, and look, we mentioned it. Pat Roach, Donald Jakes looks like they're going to actually have an opportunity to fight Big Strong Mims at the next show. It's one of the reasons we are down the road for the NWA national title. That'll be a blast to see.
Oh,
Give them a follow and on social media. Look, there's a reason why we always tell you guys. Like, I try to tag them on the Making the Drives, so that way you can just click it and then you can follow the page or like the page or whatever. Keep up with all the shows because they keep coming. There's a lot.
click it and buy a ticket, folks.
Absolutely. Their next big show premiere All Star is on the 2nd of August.
SummerSlam.
Also down in Augusta, the artist formerly known as Next Level Championship Wrestling, now known as the Apex. They had their first show since their restructuring, their reorganization, whatever you want to call it. And from all accounts, I heard from not only people that were there, people that worked there, talent that were on the card. Everything seemed to go really, really well. The crowd was up from their previous shows. That's a plus. And as we like to say, Myron, there were some pretty good wrestlers on that show.
Yeah, Savannah Evans, Drago, Drago, who Drago is a wrestler. You look at him and say, that's really a wrestler. He's got big muscles. He's big. He carries himself. He pisses people off in the crowd. Book this guy. And they booked this guy. Good sign. Good sign for the booking. I'm Josh, I'm still cheering for you, buddy. You got this. And you're gonna go out. If you're gonna go out on your own sword, man, I really respect you.
And look, if you're backing it, because look, Drago came out at the main event, attacked Chad Skywalker afterwards. Lots of chaos. I mean, Drago's clearly going to be a presence there. Listen, I'm a little naive on this maybe, but I'm kind of like, hey, if there's a guy that you kind of want to put your company on his shoulders, Drago's a pretty good one. It's a pretty
really
good
big
bet.
shoulders.
Big shoulders,
a lot of company
big strong
on
set. Absolutely. Check out Apex. You're probably going to hear about them here again in a minute, so keep the Apex close by. Their next show is on the 23rd of August, and of course, check them out on YouTube as well. Now to the show we were at on Saturday, Southern Fried Championship Wrestling over in Monroe. This was very much a show, Myron, would you agree, where the table was being set?
Yes, I talked to some people in the back. We're coming out of our big show. Got to get our next show set up, get all our big stuff together. The mind that is Todd Sexton, I trust him with this. He's doing a good job. Man, what a card we saw. And what a card that's the next card, too.
It was a great show, but before we get there, a couple matches I wanted to kind of bring some specific attention to. Jacob Ashworth, he defeated Christian Taylor, JT Paradox, and Xavier Cross. However, very young, very guys that are new to the game, but names I told people I think are going to be more impact than a lot of people know. All three of those all of them, Xavier Cross, JT Paradox, and Christian Taylor.
Taylor comes out in a sport coat and dress shirt. He always surprises me with that. The kid's incredible.
It was awesome to finally see JT Paradox in person.
Yes, in the daylight.
The fire hydrant, short, stocky, power. Xavier Cross. Listen, with that size, you got all the bonuses in the world, man. You got a lot of advantages when you have that kind of size on him. As he bulks up even more, and that's a guy to keep your eye out for.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little disappointed that Chip Day and Seth DeLay, they're out there giving us the wrestling clinic we would all naturally assume that those two guys was. Things spiraled out of control. The Crusade get involved, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And then it ended up turning into a six-man with Chip Day, Seth DeLay, Michael Walker versus the Crusade. Crusade gets a win. They feel like they're getting a little bit of mojo back, but I just got a feeling, Myron, there were still a couple chinks in the armor there that I was a little
They
bit
weren't even
worried
all
about.
there, Nick. They were off doing other things. The Crusade split. They're working other shows. They're not staying together. You only had 3 of them show up for this. Okay? I don't think they're serious
hold
anymore.
on. I want to correct. So no, they are. I personally had a conversation. A member of the Crusade reached out to me and pointed out they're taking over the state of Georgia. That's why they're spreading out. They're slowly but surely picking the state apart.
Yeah, they
I get that they weren't. They are there.
There's only so much peanut butter to go around.
But you're right. I'm telling you, you got to keep your eyes out because there was a couple little problems there that you might want to make sure. I had this conversation not too long ago with another gentleman about take care of your home versus invading others, because when you're out invading other countries, you might get invaded.
Let's steal in there and steal your gimmick.
Yeah. Nick Halen and Judas, they defeated, Sunny Days, Sal Renaro, Happy Madness. Mad Street is the incarnation there at the Boys and Girls Club in Monroe. They set up the next show pretty uniquely, where we're going to get about CT Keys, who had a big win over KJ Impala on this show. He will face Judas. Nick Halen has an opportunity and at the title against Sal Renaro. The unique position would be, what if, because CT wants a rematch. He feels like he's owed a match. Judas beats him, and Nick Halen somehow, beats Sal Renaro. Is it Nick Halen and Judas for the title, down the road?
Oh,
could happen.
I can't outthink Todd Sexton, so I'm gonna ride this one out and not even pretend like I'm thinking about anything. But it's gonna be good.
Again, their shows, they're pretty quick on getting theirs up on YouTube. Catch it if you missed it. Shame on you if you missed it.
Adam Vance, wonderful technical guy from the show.
Their next show is on August the 2nd, right there in Monroe at the Boys and Girls Club. Also on Saturday, BullPen Pro Wrestling. They ran over in Delta, Alabama. Yes, you actually do 100% need to follow them on social media, because they literally are running location, like they're moving around. So that's why I had to double check to make sure, were they really there? Yes, they were there. Victor Thorne defeated Eddie Honcho. Dante Diamond defeated Trey Jordan by DQ. BK Bennett defeated Ryan Wendell. Cody Wyndham and Julius Pryor ended in a no contest, which essentially ended in a total chaos 8-man tag that was made, because there was so much chaos in all the earlier matches. They turned around and just made it an 8-man just to kind of make everything pan out. And I will tell you this. There's a lot of young talent on these shows at BullPen. It definitely a reason why you want to follow them. And I happened to see one of the, the match for their next show, which we'll discuss down the road. But the aforementioned JT Paradox versus Zach Buchanan is on the next poster. Listen,
a good test,
honestly, I was leaning into going to this show until the wife made plans, so I have to go fulfill, husbandly duties, on the road, so yeah. But so their next show will be obviously this Saturday on the 26th, and we'll get into down and the making the drives. We'll tell you where they're going to be.
Well, you got to go to a show Monday. I didn't get to go to.
One fall in. Literally, how hot was the road heading into SummerStage? They had 2 shows. They had one on Friday, and then they did one on a Monday. So I did make the trip up there to Watkinsville. Was glad I was. Watkinsville, folks, if you haven't been there, it's turned into an absolute hotbed.
Yes.
They are running out of chairs. They're running out of space. People are standing room only buying tickets, just getting in and standing and watching the show. It's a phenomenal sight.
Are enjoying themselves watching wrestling. People that haven't watched wrestling in 100 years are in there enjoying wrestling. Perfect venue. They're doing a great job giving these people what they want.
Again, great match. I hated that you couldn't make it. Parker Lee defeated Trevor Blackwell and JD Inc. He earned the number one spot into the Casino Gauntlet, which we'll get into shortly. Fire Morales, he defeated Jimmy Wild and Warden. He got spot number 2. Well, Nick, why would you want to be number 1 or 2? Stay tuned for the Making the Drive section, and we'll give you the reasons why that makes sense. QT Marshall wrestled Griff Garrison, defeated Griff Garrison, by the way, which gives him a lot of momentum heading into Center Stage, the SummerStage show down there at Center Stage, as they will take on him and the Gun Club will take on the Frat House. And that's kind of how we, like, when we got to the main event, Drago, Jack Jameson, they defeat Brady Booker, Tyler Shoup. And, of course, total chaos ensues. And it looked like a typical, like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, go-home TV show where all hell breaks loose at the end of the show, completely setting everything up for the big show this Friday down in Atlanta.
Imagine doing a go-home in indie wrestling the same day, 4 days before your big show. That's nuts that this is happening. Usually it's a month in advance. That's awesome.
They've done a great job heading out there. There's some TV talk about where you can watch their show. More to come. Nick from Houston asked that question on the QT Marshall interview. So jump over there and listen to that if you want to hear him discuss. There was a little bit of talk about the TV tapings that are coming up here shortly. I wanted a little clarification on that, and he opened up about it and told us a little bit about that. So again, their big show this Friday, SummerStage down at the Center Stage. We're going to have a whole conversation about that here in a minute. Myron, that was a lot. I get it. We had to go through and
like the Flash and reverse.
It was
Flash.
super fast, super doing our thing. But the question becomes, after we discuss everything, Myron, who won the week?
Oh, I know who I think. How about you?
So it was a little bit difficult for me this week. There were 2 choices. I've got my answer down. I put my answer in the notes, obviously. Part of me thought One Fall's on a run right now. Like, they're heading into their big show, but I'm like, you know what? Do you agree with? I don't want to give it away on the notes. Do you agree with it? Or
well, when you pull a flaming turd out of the toilet and shine it up and make it into something that's drawing better than you were, sounds like a win for me.
Listen, I wasn't as down. Like, I know a lot of people were trying to, like they were taking kicks at next level when they were down. I wasn't. I'm like, hey, look, let's figure it out. Give them a chance to figure it out. I don't know. Listen, Josh Fields, the Apex, the new promotion name for Next Level, they won the week, and I'll tell you why. How do you say this? Like delicately, I guess. It was bad there for a couple of weeks. A lot of people were trying to, take
uncertainty, lots of uncertainty,
and they booked a card. The poster looked better. Look, with no disrespect to some of the guys that were on that poster on prior posters, but this poster looked like a bunch of wrestlers on a poster. And then they went out there. See. More importantly, wrestlers I would pay to go see. And they did better. I don't know how you could not call that a win. Look, Did they draw 400? No. Did you, Myron? I found a way to get this into the show. I've been talking about this to somebody, and I think I maybe said this to you in the car one day. Disappointment is typically unrealistic expectations that you hold on someone else.
Have you ever noticed that? Or something? Because that's really good.
Most things that you're disappointed it's based off of somebody else doing something or something. Like when we get into Saturday Night Main Event sucked. Did it? Or did you expect more and you didn't get what you wanted?
Like you expecting your kids are going to take the dogs out and they don't. And the dog's trapped in the yard.
So you're disappointed.
Yes.
And you're sitting there going, I should have never expected them to take the dog out.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at. So anyway, to expect a 400 or whatever, that's unrealistic expectations. Hey, by the way, had it happened, I would have been like, hey, oh my God, so it's crazy. And I'm sure Josh would have taken it. This is progress. This is heading in the right direction. It seems like there's focus. So Josh Fields, the Apex, the artist formerly known as Next Level. Josh, it's the last time I'll call it that. That's just kind of what it is right now.
Now, Josh, don't do all this name switching stuff too much. Okay? You can't confuse me. If you confuse me, you're going to confuse your fans. That's my advice to you. Because I pay attention.
I'm cool with it for now. We'll see. But like I said, that's my vote for who won the week. Pretty cut and dry.
I would go with it. I'll go with that.
We got that out of the way. Now it's time really to hit the accelerator, Myron, as it's time to making the drives where we look ahead to this whole weekend of wrestling. And yet we're just going to get it out of the way real quick. We're going to rip the Band-Aid right off. SummerStage at the center stage, downtown.
You know where WWE was the other day.
Yeah.
You know where WCW was.
I'm deleting that bell time because that bell time is not accurate. I actually made sure I got it right when I did the interview. VIP's door opens at 5:30. 6:30 doors open to general public. Showtime is 7:30. I got it right. QT. I can be taught. I am coachable.
But what do you do? What do you do? But if you get there a VIP, are you waiting on the show to happen? What do you do?
There is all kinds of stuff. I mean, you're going to get so there's two separate things. VIP, you can get the QT Marshall, Harley Cameron, the Frat House, Tony Schiavone. You can get in with there's a VIP package for that. The MJF experience is separate. All these tickets, by the way, are available at 1fwlive.com. And I mean all of them. If you already have your tickets and you're like, oh man, I want to do the QT Marshall, Harley Cameron, Frat House, Tony Schiavone, meet, the VIP, go on there. It's an add-on. You just literally buy the add-on. It'll get you in early, get you to do the meet and greet, et cetera, et cetera. So all of that will be the fun part of doing the show. Now to the show. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed or heard, great friend of the show, Glacier's going to be there.
Special place in my heart for the Glacier. That guy's the nicest guy on earth. Named Glacier.
Then the show's going to start. We're going to get the breakout champion will be crowned in the Casino Gauntlet match. We kind of talked about that a little bit in the rewind. Had QT Marshall explain the rules to me where basically...
This is nuts. This is crazy.
They draw numbers. And by the way, it was all puns intended when we said the match is one fall. First pinfall, first submission, whatever, match is over. So even though two guys start, there might be 10 other guys with numbers in there that come out in sequential order. If the match is over before you make it to the ring, sorry.
So the exact opposite
Park's
of your
closed.
typical...
Moose out front should have told you. I mean, it was like,
The exact opposite of your typical battle royal.
This isn't a battle royal. Like I said, this is literally a match. It's a gauntlet match, but one fall, first pinfall, first submission, match is over. So you got to hope the match is still going when you get out there, or if you get out there for that matter. Huge opportunity. Right now, look, bunch of names rumored to be in. Not going to get into the rumors and stuff like that. Got a couple, but we do know that Varia Morales and Parker Lee, those two are numbers 1 and 2 in that match. And by the way, either one of those, I would not be stunned if they came out of this breakout champion.
No, not at all.
There will be a fatal 4-way. They are crowning the first one-fall women's wrestling champion. Robin Renegade, Hyena Hera, Angelica Risk, and Isis Reed. Total, chaos, right?
Total. This is the best women's division in Georgia wrestling. Okay?
Without question.
Sorry, folks. If you don't like that, hold on. Let me get him. Splish, splash. Your opinions are trash. Guys, they got the Renegade Sisters on there all the time. They've got some of the best performers, some of the best female performers that are not on a big TV show. it's where it's at. And they've got every single gimmick on earth on this match, dude. On the show. This show, coffin match.
This coffin match has been a feud that's been brewing for a year. There was a little bit of I'm telling you, if you're a remote fan of this, you need to go check out the interview with QT Marshall. He actually explained a little bit about the history of these two. They have a long history together. I mean, on a personal level, it is crazy that it has come to this, and these two are going to coffin match. Let's just hope that this thing doesn't go sideways and go as ugly as it could potentially go. Gonna go out of order of the notes, and you probably already noticed it because I'm going backwards up the notes. Arguably could be made one of the best wrestling matches that is going to take place in the state of Georgia this year. Adam Priest versus Jay Lethal.
Oh, Jesus.
Little Bird told me, why do you want to get your tickets and why do you want to be on your seat on time? Little Birdie has told me this match will open the show.
Oh, wow.
Jay Lethal and Adam Priest should open the show. The main show. There's going to be some pre-show stuff and, whatever. But the main show, when it starts, I have been told, again, full disclosure, I've been told this is the opening match on the main show.
Awesome.
Frat House versus the Gun Club and QT Marshall. That's been building between Jack Jamin specifically. QT pointed out a great thing. He had to call in his, Billy Gunn, his friend, his partner there, and then, of course, the Sons, the Gun Club. Hopefully the Gun Club's at 100%. If you're a fan of AEW, you kind of know what I'm talking about. There was an injury that maybe kind of we'll have to figure out. The Frat House is full of young men who a lot of were students of QT's. So this is like some of the students coming back to haunt the teacher.
Oh.
And we're going to find out he taught him everything he knows, but he didn't teach him everything he knows. Does that make they taught him everything?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Last but not least, the big one, and it was something I brought up to him. By the way, folks, for the obvious thing, the steel cage match, the One Fall Wrestling Heavyweight Championship on the line, Ilya Drago versus Brady Booker, the match that's been built for months, literally months. I'm thrilled this is the main event.
Dude.
Shockingly, with all of the names and everything on this card, it could have gotten shuffled. The most important thing at One Fall Wrestling just happens to be their heavyweight championship.
Yeah. Come get your knocker slobber because this is going to be a slobber knocker in a steel cage. Ooh. A steel cage at center stage. There's probably a history of that. Goes back to some of the most brutal matches ever, and they are doing it. So excited about this. So excited about seeing this.
I have heard a few. I don't know if I'm even supposed to say this. I can't remember I'm not going to say it because I can't remember if this conversation was on the air. But we will crown a new women's champion. Potentially, you could be crowning a new heavyweight champion if Brady Booker can pull this off. And by the way, we will also be crowning a breakout champion all in one night, center stage. Quite arguably the biggest show of the summer. And again, if any of this show, like if you've looked at the poster and it intrigues you, go to the YouTube channel, go to the Patreon page, check out the interview with QT Marshall. We got a deep dive. We let fans send in questions, all those type of things. Long conversation about this show and what it could mean long term across the state of Georgia.
I really want to see if MJF still recognizes you, though.
He will not. He will not. Also on Friday, Action Wrestling. It's been a while. It's been a long while since they were in Fayetteville. It was like beginning of the year since they were at the Lion Creek Bus Barn Brewing.
Real nice venue.
They're not wasting any time, dude. I mean, they're coming. I saw this card and I was like, oh, if we weren't at center stage, folks, sorry, this is kind of where I'm heading, obviously.
Yeah.
Tim Bosby, your Action champion, will defend his title against Landon Hale. That match alone, dude, clock your IWTV if you're not going to be there. But I'm telling you, this one's worth, you would say this one's worth the price of admission. Oh, but wait. 4825, Jameson Shook and Jaden Newman, they're the IWTV World Tag Team Champions. They'll be defending those titles against the Ugly Sucklings, which, hey, who is that? That is Rob Killjoy and White Mike, two guys who at one point tore, these teams tore each other apart across the Southeast.
Yep.
Now the two are a tag team, and they are challenging, very formidable challengers for the IWTV Tag Team Championships. Cruel is back. It'll be just an absolute monster fest as he takes on Moses. And I believe Coven of the Goat is debuting at the show, the incarnation that is Nathan Mowry and Tank, as they will take on the Carnies, who we've seen here in this area for a very long time.
Yeah. I'm so glad to see them more often, but man, Tank and Nathan. Ooh.
Yeah. We took a pretty good deep dive in this. If you're not familiar, by the way, as I'm having this conversation, check out the Tapped In Indy podcast this week, as I was joined and co-hosted by, the show was co-hosted by none other than Matt Griffin of Action Wrestling. So we took a little bit of a deep dive into this show. Absolutely check it out. Give them a follow, because they run here, they run Tyrone, they run a bunch of other shows at schools and other venues. It's absolutely a few promotions that there's some that we kind of go like, you should give them a follow on social media. There's others like, no, you need to follow them on social media. Like, there's a big difference sometimes. Also on Friday, New Legacy Pro Wrestling in Franklin. They're going to kick the show off, Myron. They brought out a huge announcement. They're going to have a big top rope, over the top rope battle royal. The winner's going to earn a shot at the New Legacy Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
I like that.
Yep. At Xander Ork and Stevie Ray Frost will face off in a strap match. Not too long ago, we were up close and personal to one of those.
You were a strapper.
Absolutely. Yeah. The Wonder Boys, they look to reclaim their tag titles, as they're going to get a rematch against the current new champions. And your buddy Alexander Lev, he's going to be there to defend the New Legacy Pro Championship against Brett Buffshay, who we saw. We caught him up at the Royston Dome when we were up there at one of those shows. Should be an excellent opportunity for him to get it out. Look, New Legacy, Alexander Lev. It's a huge opportunity for Brett Buffshay, wouldn't you say?
Oh God, yeah. Lev is a signed talent. I mean, it's a huge opportunity.
Yeah. Also Friday, I told you guys, there's literally 20-something shows here. I think there was like 13 shows this weekend. PCW, they are back, as we talked about earlier in Conyers. Is Dominic Stuckey going to be able to rally 5 teammates to take on the ENT in August? Who is next for Rose Gold? Like, does he
need to see an ear, nose, and throat doctor?
Yeah, he needs an ENT doctor. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, it's Hunter James going to make his return to PCW. Deon Summerz, he's going to provide an injury update. 7 matches on the card, haven't all been listed as of recording, folks. I always have to disclaimer here that we're recording 10:48 p.m. on a Tuesday night. What a day! Can I sidebar for a minute? What a freaking day of recording!
How long have you been on the mic today?
My first episode, we started at 9:30 this morning. I have been up and down today for over 12 hours on recording podcasts. This is number 4,
and not missed a beat. And how many co-hosts have you had?
Well, over 3. We had 3. I had 3 different people today.
And 2 of the other ones are top tier Georgia powerful independent wrestling persons. So
always stand in my Power 5. Those 2 are almost like clockwork in my Power 5 on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Again, check out PCW. Look, they run, I believe it's the 2nd and the 4th Friday. They CCDL. They run their lucha, their lucha sister promotion, brother promote, whatever they want to call it, runs there on the 3rd. So it's almost weekly, folks.
Yeah,
check them out over there in that Conyers area. It's a
cool little venue.
We love the venue. It's real.
I like it there.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep an eye on it, and they do a lot of really cool stuff over there at PCW.
Yes.
APW. SCA, call it what you want to. Listen, lots of stuff going on, but it's all full steam ahead. We're heading to the August 1st show, Ultraviolet Radiation. The huge match. TJ Trigger's out of the Asylum match because he's got to defend his title. They're going to find out more about, like, hey, how's that being replaced and all those kind of things. We'll figure all of that kind of stuff. Towers kind of filled that role, apparently. He Well, he was able to defeat the champion Scott Mason. He got locked into that spot. Tower in an Asylum match going to be a sight to see, right? That giant now.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this:
him.
Tower's addition. No disrespect, obviously, to the who he's replacing. But Tower in that match, does that give SCA enough firepower to get this win? That's the question, right?
I can't swear to it. I'm still filling this one out. I got to think about this one. I don't know if that's enough firepower or not, because those ApoXalypse people are just mean.
Yeah.
My third favorite wrestler, Scott Mason.
Exactly. Hopefully, look, if there's any of those college kids that were at the last show, if they're listening, they're watching, whatever, get back out there. This is a great week to week to week, the storytelling from week to week to week, especially like as we're heading into the big August 1st show. Get out there and buy your tickets and fill up the Royston Dome.
Mm-hmm.
One place that just absolutely is crushing it they're back and running on Saturday, Coastal Empire Wrestling. That's where I wanted to go on Saturday. I wanted to go down to Savannah. I wanted to spend the night and getting something right there on the beach. Wanted to go down to Coastal Empire and catch them. I did. I really wanted to go. I can't tell you enough.
What were you going to get on the beach, Nick?
Huh?
Getting something right on the beach, you said?
A hotel. I wanted a hotel
right
there.
Okay, thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, I wanted to get a hotel right there on the beach, take the wife, enjoy a weekend away, but I'm going to barbecue with some friends, I guess.
At your house?
Okay. No.
Have you got to cook?
No.
Okay, that's better.
That's why I was in. When it was like, am I cooking? No, I'm in. Anyway, Coastal Empire Wrestling, Hunter James versus Michael the Flying Pro Walker. Listen, that kid's like Superman at Coastal. I'm not sure if people are familiar, with how there's something about that promotion, that ring. Hunter James better watch out. I get it. Hunter James is one of the best wrestlers in Georgia. Look, guys, I'm not new. I'm fully aware who Hunter James is, but this is something that's this is a challenge that he's gonna do not sell Michael Walker short. That's all I'm gonna say, because Michael Walker, with all due respect, Michael understands what I'm about to say is not an insult to Michael Walker. He has been overlooked a lot. People look at him sometimes and they try to look past him. Mistake. That's all I'm telling you. Do not do that.
Consistently one of the most entertaining and over wrestlers in the state.
Now, Bryce Cannon and Dax Anthony in a tables match. These guys, this thing is still going strong. The hatred between these two guys, it's insane. They have had matches. They've done, Dax has taken the credit, and I'm throwing some air quotes there, about injuring Bryce Cannon. Listen, Bryce Cannon, we all fully, let me give Dax a little bit of a warning. I get it. Bryce Cannon's a nice guy. He's a good guy there. Don't forget who Bryce Cannon can be.
Nope.
He can go to a dark place. The frat daddy can go into some dark places. And I don't think that's a place where Dax Anthony wants to take him.
Nope.
That's the mistake I think he may make. That's all I'm going to say. It's a place he may make a huge mistake in taking one Bryce Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Coastal Chaos title is going to be on the line. Hakeem Young taking on Cornelius Pepperbottom.
That's a good one.
Simon Sermon, Chad Skywalker, VHS on a pole. Look, try to insert your jokes all you want, folks. We got a plot line and a storyline that involves a VHS tape. We got one of the most entertaining wrestlers in the area, Simon Sermon, against probably one of the most overlooked, underrated, underappreciated wrestlers we've seen in a long, long time, Chad Skywalker. I made the joke to somebody, and I said, hey, this ain't a joke. This match could be probably one of the most memorable moments of something
extremely memorable. You're gonna get an experience with this one.
Yeah. CT Keys versus Zach Mosley. I promise you, win, lose, or draw, Zach Mosley will remember this match. His body will remember it for a couple days. Pat Rhodes versus Young Mighty Joe, Tommy Mars and Kevin Cantrell and Christian Taylor, and Leah Knight and Amber Rose, and the winner gets a shot at the IW titles match. Dude, look at this freaking card.
Incredible card. I mean, CT Keys, is probably going to slap the ever living shit out of Zach Mosley. CT Keys has been having the most awesome stare downs and confrontations on shows we've been to. He is a superhuman looking, like he's bigger than Spider-Man. I'm seeing that behind you. He's like Colossus level.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, Coastal Empire Wrestling, with all due respect to everybody out there, when you look at this card top to bottom, it's stacked.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I will tip your cap to Coastal Empire. That is a loaded roster of a card.
Good talent, good storylines. They've been very successful, extremely successful.
They are continuing to make their case why look, they will tell you if you don't believe me, ask them. They'll tell you they're the best promotion in Georgia, and they're with cards like this. This is them making their case.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say. BullPen Pro Wrestling in Roanoke, Alabama. The Wonder Boys are going to challenge for tag team gold. Xavier Cross versus Rob Adonis. Dude, that is a absolute couple of monsters.
Oh yeah.
Going at it.
Oh, yeah.
Again, we saw Xavier Cross, at Southern Fried finally in person. It doesn't, until you see him, even on video, it didn't do justice to how tall he was, how big he was.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, Rob Adonis is one big, just absolutely thick individual, like just a big dude. And then, of course, the one we talked about, JT Paradox, the walking fire hydrant, taking on Zach Buchanan, who absolutely – here's the thing. Was it 6 months ago we were talking about, like, this kid was going to be short-lived in Georgia, in this region. He's going to be signed sooner than later. He's got the look. He's had all the talent in the world. That still doesn't change. We get it.
Bull is putting his golden boy up against JT Paradox, so he must have a lot of faith in him.
Well, listen, Zach's turned his back on his father. I'm not really sure what Zach's problem is, and I'm not sure what's gotten into him, but putting him in there with JT Paradox might be about what he needs. JT Paradox may straighten him up and get him back in line, but that is a match without question that if you're remotely in the Roanoke, Alabama area, go get your ticket, because here's the thing. This is a match. There are times in wrestling shows, and BullPen, by the way, does a phenomenal job of this. They're going to put on some matches where you're going to see veteran, solid, hey, they're going to give you a great match talent. Yeah. But they bring out some young studs like Xavier Cross, Christian Taylor, JT Paradox, Zach Buchanan, on and on and on. There's a whole laundry list of them if you follow them. And look, between all of the promotions they're hitting right there down that, it's literally West Georgia, East Alabama, that area.
A territory.
I tell you, there are definitely, you do not want to miss BullPen Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Classic Wrestling, back in old Buckhead, right there at the old roller skating arena. We had a pleasure to go to the last show.
Yes, that was a lot of fun.
And we saw Nick Halen as he captured the title there against Sean Nelson. He's going to be defending said title against Sean Nelson.
A rematch.
And, I get it. Sean Nelson's a veteran, and there's a lot of people, that believe in Sean Nelson there. The fans were behind him. Listen, I get it. People don't like him there, and I understand that. There's times that Nick Halen can be a bit of an ass. But clearly, without question, by the way, Nick Halen, this is where you hit record. There wasn't a better wrestler in the building than Nick Halen there. That's why he is your Georgia Classic heavy. He's the heavyweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
He went in there and he debuted that night. Bam, and he beat your champion. Now the locker room's got to prove that he's not the best wrestler there, and somebody's going to knock him off.
Yep.
Dead Man's Hand will take on the Enterprise. Jake Miles challenges Xander Seabolt for the TV championship. Scott Mason, Xander Oric Tower, Jacob Ashworth, D-Money, a whole bunch of other people there. Check out Georgia Classic Wrestling. If you're looking, dude, I mean this with all the love and affection I can say. If you're looking for some good old-fashioned wrestling and you're over kind of on the east side of Georgia, there's your show, Georgia Classic Wrestling.
It's a cool little town, too.
Yeah, very cool little town. Nerd U, Cornelia, Georgia, right up the road here, not too far from us. Michael Solar, one of the most surprising the surprising champions around, but he's defended it successfully. Look, I get it. People take shots at him. You shouldn't, because he's continued to be their champion.
He's over. The guy's over. And this is going to be really cool to see him and Sid together.
Him and Sid are wrestling in a championship match, and it is a ladder match.
And the baddest man in that ring is the special enforcer, Crystal Rose.
The baddest person in the ring is going to be the female referee. Is that what you're saying?
She'd be the last one of those three people that I would want to fight.
Yeah. Crystal Rose is going to be the special enforcer, making sure that this thing goes right. She's going to call it Bill Alfonso style, right down the middle, I'm sure. Here's your North Georgia. There's always a show. That's what I love about when we've got shows all over the state. We're like, hey, go check them out, because I got a feeling. I had a conversation with Michael Solar last night, and he's ready to do anything it takes to retain this title. And we know Sid don't feel no pain.
Yeah.
We had that conversation. So there's no telling what he's likely to do. JD Inc., Trevor Blackwell go one-on-one. Bobby D versus Big Bad Brando. Luca Daniels will appear there as well. They're running up at the OSWA arena.
Yeah.
The building
Cornelia.
that they use up in Cornelia. Give Nerd U Championship Wrestling a follow. Check them out. It'll be a fun show. Like I said, if you're up there in that northeast-ish kind of area, definitely want to check them out. DWA, they're back at the Wild Wing there in Alpharetta. The women's semifinals is going to continue. How about this? How would you like to be? Hey, let's go to some wild. By the way, me and you, we're Wild Wing Cafe dudes. We're we love some Wild Wing.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Buffalo Wild Wing, go suck it. I mean, unless you're going to pay for a sponsorship. I'm more of a Wild Wing Cafe guy. Just always have been.
Sponsorship could change that. I'll sell your chicken.
Yeah, give us wings. If we get to go eat the wings,
yes.
You're at Wild Wing Cafe on Saturday night. You're just there eating and enjoying and having a good time, and Cruel walks to the ring as they're having a wrestling show. Wait, what?
Yeah, he is so up close, like these bar shows. He is so intimidating, a monster of a man. Yeah, you got to go see him. While you can, he keeps moving up the ladder. You're going to see him higher and higher.
Absolutely. Check out DWA. They're all over the state as well. Sunday, July the 27th, the Blood 90 series returns to Atlanta, Georgia, to Monk's Meadery. That one's a later show. Their bell time is 8:00. This is a mature crowd. I believe it's over 8. It might be over 21. I can't remember. Find them on social media and figure. I can't remember off the top of my head. But there's a lot of death matches in here. Nathan Mowry's taking on Spectre in a death match. Matt Griffin's going to be taking on Peyton Blair. Jazzy Yang versus Mr. Hateful. Brian White versus the Hardcore Hillbilly in a Boards of Death match. Look, I get it, folks. If you're a deathmatch fan, this is where you have to be. This is it. This is Georgia.
This is your Georgia deathmatch show, and it's ran by a phenomenal human being, Nathan Mowry. So, and Matt Griffin is there.
He likes to feel and inflict a lot of pain on people. That's just the weird part.
Matt Griffin will bust open easy.
Here's
I've seen
the
him
thing.
do it. What?
We're hoping it
twice this month already, or twice last month.
One could only hope. Peyton Blair, I'm not sure what you give something. Chairs,
pork,
anything, whatever. And by the way, if you are a fan of Matt Griffin, I already mentioned it once. Do it again. Check out the Tapped In Indy podcast. Matt Griffin had the pleasure of sitting in with me and co-hosting that show. That's right. I said it the other way around. No, I appreciate him. Come on. He had a lot of, it was a great show. So check that one out for us.
Very intelligent man.
Yeah. And, look, I got it. This show was late. I apologize for that. We try to do better. It was just a loaded thing. I gave a lot of content that you're going to hit over the last day, next day, so whatever, depending on the time loop. It's enough to get you through the week. Let's put it to you that way. And look, I always tell you, if you just want to keep up the best, I promise you, I get it up as fast as I can, specifically at patreon.com/tappedoutpod. That's, the best place to be a member there, because you're going to get the shows early. You're going to get the show notes. You're going to get the digital collectibles. You're going to get the 8.5 by 11 if you're at the $25. So all the different levels there at patreon.com. And I get it, folks. Some of you are if you're YouTube watchers, still support the show. Still go out, subscribe, like the page, turn the notifications on, because this week it would have been 4 episodes of show, Myron. 4 episodes of show that you would have gotten you would have missed, because normally you would have gotten 2, and that's all you would have been looking for. You wouldn't have been looking for the spotlight, probably, because you haven't been trained yet that it's there. You wouldn't have been, about the QT Marshall interview, that it just literally popped up I asked him on Monday. We did it today, bam, and it got put up. That is available, obviously, to the public now. That's a lot of stuff. And somehow, some way, I have no freaking idea how we did it in under an hour. It's 55 minutes and 55 seconds as I was saying that.
I need some cake. My blood sugar is running low. And those chicken wings, if we could possibly get a chicken wing sponsor, okay.
Yeah, we would take that without question, as they say. And listen, it's going to be a long week. We told you, hey, look, we know we're going to be at Center Stage. That is where we're heading on Friday. Saturday, completely tied up. Not sure we're going to be able to make it anywhere. So that's the best place if you want to see us this weekend. But we ran down a whole laundry list of shows that you could go see. And by the way, make sure you're following our page, the Tapped Out Podcast Network, or even mine if you want to, on there, because every week we do the Making the Drives with links, with times, dates, highlights of the shows, posters attached, all the above, to try to make your life easier to go find your local show that is close to you. That's our mission.
And buy a ticket.
I agree 100%. So anything else, man, before we get out of here?
No, I'm actually tapped out this time.
So hopefully we guys, like I said, support indie wrestling. That's what this whole show's about. Buy a ticket, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see you at the matches.